What's going on, guys? CWG here. Welcome to another Nomifactory episode. And as you can tell, I may have expanded the clean room just a little bit. Oh yeah. So last episode, we got radon from this big distillation tower here in order to make the extreme voltage circuit assembler. And I told you guys that in between episodes, I would automate HV circuits. And of course I did. I'm not a liar, CWG. Well, mostly. Let us walk inside the clean room here. Now things are going to be a little bit compact. Here is my plan with the clean room. We have one walkway here, which you can kind of see is coming together. There's going to be another walkway over here. These are going to have all of our laser engravers. Look at all the different things that we're making. We also have our cutting saw here that's making the glowstone doped wafers. Look, we already have 2,048 of these things. You'll love to see it. And then, yeah, this hallway is going to be the cutting saw. So all the things that need to be cut. Extreme voltage chemical reactor here making nano CPUs. There's lots of stuff and things happening. This circuit assembler is just our manual one. But if we come around this side, check it out. This is our extreme voltage circuit assembler making HV circuits automatically for us. We already have 128 in backlog. You'll love to see it. And you guys could probably guess how this is automated using a robot arm. These robot arms are amazing. But yeah, we now have unlimited high voltage circuits. This is amazing. Oh, and in terms of electricity, I always forget to talk about the electricity part. On the right half of this room is our high voltage, and on the left half of this room is going to be our extreme voltage, because we need a combination of both. In fact, we're going to need insane voltage a lot sooner rather than later. I have no idea how I'm going to get insane voltage in here. I may just have to make this clean room even taller, so that way we can keep stacking vertically. I mean, the amount of machines that require a clean room is a bit insane, and it's at the point where it takes like so long to clean now. If I make this bigger, it's gonna take even longer to clean. But yeah, high voltage circuits automated. I'll show you guys how we're making all the other components here in a second. Also, look, there's a little crafting terminal in here. How cute. So if we come over to our HV line, you will see some new machines. Like for instance, we're making carbon fiber by combining epoxy resin with carbon. And carbon fiber, check it out. This is used for all kinds of things. We need it for fiber reinforced epoxy sheets and nano CPU wafers. Wait, is it just used for two things? Ah, three things, carbon fiber mesh, and then that's used for a bunch of stuff. Ooh, duct tape. And over here is all our SMD components made for our circuits. If you don't know what SMD stands for, it stands for semiconductor. Actually, I'll be honest, I have no idea what SMD stands for. Let me know in the comments. But we're making resistors completely passively. We have passive capacitors. Now, these two are not passive because in order to make transistors, we need gallium. And we don't have a way to passive gallium yet, so I just batch crafted a bunch of it. Should last a long time. Same thing with the nickel zinc ferride. We have the nickel, we have the iron, we have the oxygen, but we don't have the zinc. So we're going to have to look into passiving zinc here soon, but I also batch crafted a bunch of this nickel zinc blah blah blah. So yeah, we got all the SMD components for the circuits now. You'll love to see it. If you guys are curious like what the difference is between an SMD resistor and a normal resistor, well, there's basically three tiers of circuit components. We used to use this method, which uses glue, copper, and coal, but it only gives us like 2. I think if you use like annealed copper, you get 4. But like with SMD resistors, you get 16 per recipe. So this stuff is way more powerful. It's just a little bit more expensive in terms of material because you need electrum polyethylene, but we already have all that passive. So it's not that big of a deal. Eventually, we're going to want to get into the advanced SMD resistors. This is going to require an even more advanced form of plastic we haven't made yet. Insane voltage, platinum, graphene. Yeah, we're not even going to worry about that yet. Just know there's different tiers when it comes to inductors, transistors, blah, 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 blah. All right, now let's head over to the MV line. I've been doing way more stuff over here. Look at it. Everything you see in a drawer over here has been passived. If you don't know what I mean when I say passive, let's take this electrum for instance. You make electrum by combining silver and gold. And if we go back to the center over here, we're automatically getting gold from this crafter back here, and we're automatically getting silver from our deep mob learning setup, which by the way, just keeps growing off the edge. We don't talk about the DML setup, okay? So that means we're passively making gold and silver, which means you can keep going down the chain. Since we have passive gold and silver, we now have passive electrum, which means we now have passive electrum plates, passive electrum foil, passive electrum wires. You guys know what I mean? And I've been going absolutely crazy with this. We're just making all kinds of things like aluminum foils, copper sheets. Wait, why is this not running? Oh my gosh, I forgot to configure this guy. Silly me. That means the system has been out of copper foil for a while. Whoops. Up here, we're making steel dust. Now up here, we're making some interesting things. You guys know how like each voltage tier has its own wire? Like this is medium voltage. It uses energetic alloy for its superconductor. You may be wondering, what is the insane voltage superconductor? And that, my friends, would be lumium. And achieving lumium is quite the process. Basically, you need this lumium dust, which is made by mixing cathrate, luminescent, sterling silver, and alloy. Now, this is just an alloy of tin and iron, so we have that passive. This is just an alloy of copper and silver, so we have that passive. Cathrate is glowstone and nether quartz, so we have that passive. Now, primal mana, that's a little bit of an adventure. So in order to make primal mana, we need blaze powder, blitz powder, and basalt powder, which we're getting from all these different rods. All of these can be achieved from DML using the thermal elemental. So all of these are passive. And if we fly to the other side here, this is where I set up all the different crafters. We got one crafting aerothium dust. We already have all this stuff passive. We have one making pyrotheum dust. We have one making cryothium dust. One making petroleum dust. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then they're all getting combined together via this recipe to make mana dust. I mean, look at all the mana dust we have. That's ridiculous. The mana dust then gets sent into this extractor over here. Why is there compressed cobble in here? Oh, I bet you I know what happened. All right, let's remove that. I don't know how long that's been like that. But the mana dust gets extracted into primal mana and put into the super tank above it. And it's all done automatically. You'll love to see it. Oh my gosh, when this thing's running, listen to how loud it is. When all these macerators kick on. I kind of like the noise. In Gregtech, it's kind of like ASMR. Just listening to all the sounds of the machines as you walk around the base. Anyways, back to talking about lumium. So we have primal mana done. The last thing is luminescence, which is also kind of a pain. We have redstone, glowstone, aluminum dust. That's all passive. It's this phosphoric acid. This gosh dang phosphoric acid that requires phosphorus. You see that P in the chemical name? We do not have phosphorus passived yet. But I did batch craft a bunch of this stuff, and I added a large chemical reactor all the way to the end here that is making the phosphoric acid. Our limiting component, of course, being phosphorus. And how are we getting phosphorus? By thermal centrifuging apatite dust. When you thermal centrifuge this guy, it will drop 6 tiny piles of phosphate dust, which is a pretty good deal. I mean, look at all this phosphate we're getting. Sadly, though, it's not passive, so it does require manual labor of me processing down apatite ore. Otherwise, we would run out of phosphoric acid. Now, we will be able to solve this eventually with the universe microminer things, which we will be getting into very soon. So let's toss in the phosphorus here. You should be able to see it getting sucked out of the system. Yeah, see, it's getting immediately sucked out into the chemical reactor. Yep. By the way, if you combine manganese and phosphorus, you can make manganese phosphide. Why is that twisting my tongue? Which is actually an LV superconductor. It's even better than the pulsating iron one or whatever it was. So that's kind of cool. Oh, let's talk about the chlorine crisis. I've added 2 more electrolyzers, electrolyzing salt water to get out that tasty chlorine. The only downside is this process is kind of long, 18 seconds per recipe, but it also makes sodium hydroxide dust, and this stuff is used for epoxy. So I set up 2 more of these. There's actually another one somewhere over here in this spaghetti. Oh, I found it. There's the electrolyzer. So we have 3 of these guys going, making us chlorine. And you guys saw that last episode, we're pumping salt water from the overworld. We're also getting salt water by combining water and gas tiers. Yeah. And I want to show you guys something pretty cool. So the way we had been getting gas tiers is via DML, the gas matter, but you only get 2 per ball. That's a bad deal. But there's this recipe over here that gives you 3. Hellish matter, we have a kajillion of. Sugar we can get from our sugarcane generator downstairs. Spider eye, you can get from DML. And 1 ball gives you 8. So that means 8 spider eyes ends up giving you 24 gas tiers, which is a much better deal than doing it this method. So if we go over here, I set up one crafter to turn sugarcane into sugar and the other crafter to turn everything into gas tiers. I mean, we're making tons of gas tiers now. So if you guys are playing at home, I would recommend this method of getting gas tiers for sure. Because the issue we were having is all of our gas matter was going into gas tiers, but we also need this to make silver, especially now that we need this electrum stuff, which just eats silver. So I'm trying to save on resources wherever I can. I mean, this is Nomifactory. It's all about resource management. Other than that, I mean, you can see that I've been super busy just automating everything. Automated copper dust, silver dust, clathrate. I've automated HV motors and HV pistons, so I never have to craft those again. That's very nice. I still have to automate the pumps and the conveyors, but I'll get to that later. Now, for those circuit boards, it's a pretty simple process. We take our epoxy, solidify it into sheets. We take the sheets, combine it with gold foil and sulfuric acid, which are both passive, and then we get epoxy circuit boards. Those are then combined with iron 3 chloride to get the advanced circuit boards. And we're making iron 3 chloride somewhere over here. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to find where things are being made now, right here. And this is one of the things that is eating all our hydrochloric acid, aka all of our chlorine, man. We can never get enough chlorine. If we look into our liquid terminal here, search up chlorine, we literally have none. But we do have hypochlorous acid, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff is where all the chlorine is going. All this stuff requires chlorine. Luckily, I think we may have a solution to chlorine in the nearish future. Keyword nearish. Oh, also, I set up this automation. You can take epoxy, combine it with raw carbon to get fiber reinforced resin sheets. That's actually different than what we're making over here. And you use the fiber reinforced ones to combine with annealed copper foil sulfuric acid to make these green circuit boards, extreme. These are actually for the next tier of circuit boards. But that's not why I made this setup. Let's go into the clean room. As you can see up here, we are making the extreme circuit boards. This recipe does require a clean room. And with these circuit boards, we can make the insane voltage Lapotronic energy orbs. And these guys can hold 250 million EU, which I think the quest book said is the equivalent of like 16 vibrant capacitors. So one of those batteries is bigger than our entire battery bank, which is kind of nuts. So that's why I decided to automate these circuit boards early. They're also going to be used for the quantum circuits, but that's going to require insane voltage. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to go crafting an IV circuit assembler right now. Oh God, what the heck? It needs quantum stars? Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Ooh, let's go to our extreme voltage setup. Look what I set up over here. So I think one of you guys in the comments said we should centrifuge endstone dust. And you are 100% correct. Check it out. If you centrifuge this, you get sand, whatever, helium, but you get tungsten and platinum. Yeah, so this is essentially infinite tungsten and infinite platinum. How are we getting the endstone dust? It's being made right over here. We got one crafter turning sand into sandstone, the other crafter making that delicious endstone. So that way we can crush it, centrifuge it, and get all the tungsten. I mean, look at that. We have 280 tungsten dust here, all being made automatically. You'll love to see it. What happens is the tungsten ends up inside this hydrochloric acid bath. It's getting washed. It will then get moved over to the electrolyzer, which you couldn't even see it, but it's immediately getting electrolyzed. And then when this is done, we should see our carbon count go up by 280, and then it also will electrolyze some chlorine, which immediately gets sucked back into the system because we're in a chlorine crisis. So yeah, we now got passive tungsten and passive platinum. If we look at our system here, how much platinum do we have now? We have 942 platinum. Yo, let's just grab a bunch of this and smelt it down. I mean, you gotta love the multi-smelter, right? It can smelt a stack of items at a time. Even at medium voltage, it still does a stack at a time. I mean, look at this. Oh yeah, I was smelting a whole bunch of lapis. I'm always running out of lapis, so I got to passive that soon too. We got passive platinum. All right, now that you guys are updated with the ridiculous amount of stuff I've been doing, let's go over our next plan. We want to get the huge combustion generator, or I guess it's extreme combustion generator, aka this guy. And this is going to require a metric butt ton of tungsten steel. Tungsten steel. But since we have passive tungsten now, it's actually not that bad to make tungsten steel. I've already batch crafted a bunch. Look at that. 500 tungsten steel. I think that should be enough to make the generator. Hopefully. But the hardest part about this combustion engine is gonna be this dynamo hatch right here. Now this dynamo hatch can supply up to 2 amps IV. We're actually gonna want the 4 amp dynamo hatch because when this guy's oxygen boosted, it can supply up to 4 amps. So we're gonna need this guy, and you can already see we're gonna run into a few problems here. For instance, this HPIC requires an insane voltage cutting saw and an insane voltage chemical reactor with some vanadium gallium. We can make this stuff, but we definitely don't have it passive. And indium gallium phosphate. Now, indium. Oh god, don't ask me how I got indium, but in between episodes, I did manage to get my hands on 16 indium dust because I knew we would need it for this. Now, let me show you the challenges of Gregtech, like trying to figure out how to make this indium, right? You would think it wouldn't be too hard, right? You can combine some piles to get it. You can get it from pulverization, but that uses indium, so that's not useful. You can get it through electrolyzing, but this is actually an alloy that's made by mixing stuff, so that's not actually a way you can get indium. Maybe the chemical reactor. Oh, you could get it from indium phosphate, which you could get from impure naquata, which you could get from naquata dust at LUV, so there's no way we're gonna be able to get it that way. So for a while, I thought there was no way to get indium, but I missed something. If you look at the recipe for the small pile specifically, you can get the small pile of indium by reacting indium concentrate with aluminum dust, which is purified galena, purified sphalerite, with sulfuric acid. Yeah, it's a really weird recipe and a very easy recipe to miss. I always joke that half the challenge in this mod pack is literally just navigating JEI to figure out how to make stuff. But we do have some indium, so you guys don't have to worry about it. I did all the hard work. Oh, another thing we're gonna need for this dynamo hatch is insane voltage coils, which means we need to get iridium, which means we need to set up the platline. Oh boy. So I made another plan here of how we're gonna get the huge combustion generator. And once we finally get it, our power problem should be solved for a long time. I'm laying, look, we're losing power right now. Not ideal. So let's start with step 1. Let's get our first LUV circuit. This is going to be the most exciting part of this whole thing. So if we come into here, like I said before, this is our manual circuit assembler. It looks like it's out of SMD capacitors. We could just grab some from our system because it's all connected. Look at those beautiful 2048s. You'll love to see it. Oh, apparently we don't have diodes automated yet. Because it requires gallium arsenic, which we definitely do not have passive. We still have so many things we need to passive. Yoink. And then this turns our HV circuits into EV circuits. Tasty. Now remember, in order to upgrade a circuit from one tier to another, it's always a 2-to-1 ratio. So it's going to take 2 of these to make 1 of these, which means we're going to need 8 EV circuits. All right, the next step is to upgrade the EV circuits into IV circuits. This is going to require some new stuff like tungsten steel wire, Lumium wire, but you guys remember that I already automated Lumium. In fact, now that I think about it, I never showed you guys the blast furnace that's needed for Lumium. This requires tungsten steel coils. Very expensive, but we already can make tungsten steel, so it's not that huge of a deal, and it's 121 seconds per recipe of Lumium. Absolutely bananas. So Lumium is kind of a pain in the butt to get. But if we come over to our wire mill, I already prepared. I made some tungsten steel and Lumium wire. Oh my gosh, CWG, you prepared for this episode so well. I think I'm gonna like the video just because of that. Yeah, thank you for liking the video. I think I'm losing my mind. All right, so tungsten steel, Lumium, put in our EV circuits. Then we're gonna need diodes and NOR. We got some diodes in here, and I've already set up the automation for NOR gates right here, so we can just grab a stack, and it'll start cutting another stack for us. I love our automation. So dropping this, we should be making our first insane voltage circuits using the blue ones. Because if you guys remember, we used to make them using these orange ones, but this was so expensive. So expensive. Doing it this way is going to be way cheaper. Ooh, let's touch it. I bet it's an achievement. The second tier 5 circuits. Oh yeah. Well, while these circuits are being crafted, I guess I could show you guys the quest book and the progress we've been making. Look at that. This is a late game quest. We're starting to get some late game quests now. This is good. If we go into the mid game, yeah, we're pretty far deep into the mid game now. We've already made Lumium. One of our next big challenges is to make Signalium, which is another like absolute pain in the butt process. 428 seconds. That's with helium. If we did not use helium, that would be 640 seconds. That is insane. And the lubium is made by some of the stuff that we've automated already, but we're also going to need some new stuff like that. But we have all that passive. What about this? Do we have that passive? Red steel dust, which is black. Oh my God. It's going to require bismuth? Yeah. Lubium's definitely going to be a process to get. Not looking forward to it. All right, so we now have 4 IV nano circuits. It's time to upgrade those to LUV. This is exciting. So we're gonna need a full stack of capacitors to make 2 of this. That's a bit nuts. I just realized one of the things I forgot to automate. RAM. How did I forget about the RAM? It's nothing we can't take care of though, right? Let's speedrun some RAM automation off camera. Step 1, put fluid interface on the side of the cutting machine. Step 2, grab the lubricant. Boop, boop. Now we put an item interface on the top. We put in the RAM wafers. We then toss all our RAM wafers into the system because they're in this crate for some reason, uncut. That doesn't make any sense. Let's grab a drawer downgrade, grab a drawer, tell this to output to the bottom, auto eject. Next, we're gonna put a pump on the left, conveyor on the top. Using our screwdriver, we're gonna import the lube, and then we're gonna import the RAM, and then boom, we're cutting RAM automatically. Next up is drawer downgrade, lock it with some keys. There we go, automatic RAM, nice and simple. Oh, and don't forget, we're gonna need trim right there. Trim is what keeps the drawers connected together. That way we can see everything from the system. So now if I go to the system, look up RAM, we don't see it. Oh, because I'm missing another piece of trim right here. How silly of me. Boop. All right, can I access the RAM, please? Yeah, we can see the RAM, nice. If you're wondering how all these drawers are being connected to our AE system, there's a drawer controller somewhere. It's up here. And as long as you're within 12 range of the drawer controller, all you need to do is put a storage bus on it. Now, putting storage buses on drawer controllers does add a little bit of server lag, but this is part of the reason why we're like playing in the void dimension to minimize all lag possible. Also, the server is being hosted on CodeMC's Giga server, which has like 96 gigs of RAM, so I think we'll be fine. Speaking of RAM, give me that RAM. Guys, this is it. The moment we've been waiting for. Let's drop in the insane voltage circuits. Why isn't it crafting? No. Oh, I forgot the inductors. Apparently the top tier does not use circuit boards. Interesting. It instead uses inductors, which I think we already have automated. Yeah, give me that. All right, the real moment we've been waiting for. It's crafting. 40 seconds. Waiting builds character. Oh, while this is crafting, actually, I could show you how the clean room's getting power. We used to get power through this machine hole, which allowed 1 HV amp. That is nowhere near enough power to what we need in here now. Now, there is a extreme voltage 4 amp diode, which allows 4 amps of EV power into here, charging these 4 Lapitron crystals. And remember, each crystal is able to output 1 amp, so we have a total of 4 amps EV, or 16 amps HV inside the clean room, which I could already tell we're gonna have to add more batteries in here. It's just that these crystals are expensive. They cost, well, I guess HV circuits aren't a big deal anymore. Yeah, I guess I can make more of them. All right, here we go. 2 LUV circuits. Oh, I can't believe it. The first tier 6 circuits are in my hand. And did I even explain why we need it? If it wasn't obvious, you need it for the extreme combustion engine. Yeah, right here. So hey, we can check that off the list. Oh, we got another quest, LUV circuits. So does that mean I could consider myself at LUV now? Because I've technically made some LUV circuits? Nah. If you guys join the Nomifactory Discord, you can put like a little tag next to your name to show which voltage you are in. And for me, it still says high voltage. I refuse to upgrade my voltage tier until I have the circuit for that tier completely automated, like we do HV. So I am flying my HV flag proud. Although I will say we're getting very, very close to extreme voltage machines becoming the norm. I mean, we already made a whole bunch of extreme voltage machines. The only reason I don't consider ourselves at extreme voltage is because we don't have titanium automated, but we're getting very close to that. So that means our first LUV circuit is done. Oh. Now we get to set up the platline. Yay! You guys may be like, C-dubs, what the heck is a platline? So our goal here is to get iridium for the insane voltage coils, and that comes from something called the platline. Also, we get a Nami dollar for the quest of the LUV circuit. That's awesome. Look, we've already unlocked the quest for the IV circuit assembler. Are you kidding me? Bro, are we actually that close to the next tier of circuits? I barely finished setting up the automation for this new tier of circuits. Man, things are starting to progress extremely rapidly. But there's some stuff we're gonna have to take care of before we even think about that. Like platline. Oh yeah, gosh, I get distracted so easily in this game. So the platline group processing quest is up here. So we need to get nitric acid, which I don't think should be a problem. Literally just combining ammonia and oxygen. Or you could do it by nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. But I'm pretty sure just using ammonia skips that step. Also, we have don't we have like a full tank of ammonia over here? Yeah, literally 8 million ammonia. So I think we'll use this recipe. It also gives us some water, which we'll trash. Wait, guys, scrap that. I think I found an even better recipe. Check this one out. Just nitrogen dioxide and water makes nitric acid. What? And I'm pretty sure we're getting nitrogen oxide by distilling ender air, right? Yeah, look at that. 366 buckets of nitrogen dioxide. So I think this is going to be the method in which we make it. That's the fun thing about Gregtech. There's so many ways to make things. You got to use your big brain and decide which one suits your base best. So that means it's time to craft another large chemical reactor. And look how easy it is to craft things when you already have unlimited HV circuits. Like, we could make another one if we wanted. It's ridiculous. And we already have a bunch of PTFE casings in here. See, that's why you always batch craft. Whenever you need to craft something in Gregtech, either make double or even quadruple the amount that you need, because trust me, it will be used later. That's honestly the biggest advice I could give to any new person trying to play Gregtech. Oh, I didn't even mention! You guys are probably like, what the heck is this? You guys in the comments have been telling me to make the insane voltage drill. Now that we have like insane voltage technology, tungsten steel and stuff. And that's exactly what we did. In order to make the power unit, it's literally just a bunch of tungsten steel. That's it. An IV motor, we need some graphene, tungsten steel, tungsten, stuff that we've already made before but do not have automated. You could also choose between the mid battery or the extremely good battery. I just put the mid battery on this one. It's a lot cheaper to make these guys. In fact, if you look at here, the recipe for these batteries is just vanadium, which we have in small quantities, rose gold, platinum cables, PTFE. Yeah, it's just a bunch of micro crafting, but that's the one I ended up using. You also get to choose which drill tip you want, and based on which drill tip you pick, will decide the amount of durability and mining speed you got it. It's kind of similar to Tinker's Construct, if you guys have ever played that mod, but don't tell Greg that. The Gregtech community does not like Tinker's Construct. There's a lot of lore behind it. So I ended up going with the blue steel drill. It's got a ton of mining speed, really good durability. It's just crafted with blue steel, which is probably, as you guessed, one of those complicated alloys, but you know, it's just a bunch of microcrafting. But let me show you guys the power of this drill. Let's go to the end. You know, I do know that we are going to need some draconium in the nearish future. So maybe we could go mine some of that. Oh, you can tell where I've been mining. So if you shift right click, you could change the area of this guy. Let's bump this up to max. All right, let's mine some ores. This thing is crazy. It's OP. Our inventory's already full from just one drilling. Thank you guys for recommending the insane voltage drill. It really is insane. I mean, how quickly can we just like demolish this end island? This is just OP. It is fun though, I will admit. I just need to set up like a large, hello there, drawer network inside of the end so we can collect all these resources. Now, when I go back to the base, I turn it back down to 9 by 9 by 1. Because I don't want to accidentally, like, could you imagine if I like mined maybe right here? It would destroy like a whole chunk of the base. If you hold shift, you will only mine one block. So that's good to know. Also, this thing's rechargeable. Although it is insane voltage. So I believe in order to charge it, I have to grab this battery here, turn it into discharge mode. And yeah, you can see it charged our drill. Very neat. Anyways, let's get back to making some nitric acid. We're gonna need 2 input hatches, 2 output hatches, maintenance hatch, copper nickel coil, blah, blah, blah. I think we got everything we need. I've already made like 1 million of these things, so I'm getting pretty used to it. Don't worry, I'll fix the floor later. We don't talk about it. And we're formed. Slap it with some duct tape. 2 fluid interfaces, 2 super tanks, connect up the cable, nitrogen dioxide, And water. Oh, we got to go back to our extreme voltage line so we can slap a fluid storage bus on side of our nitrogen dioxide. Which means we're going to have to run this ender air distillation setup again. Otherwise, we're going to run out of nitrogen dioxide. But we're going to do that after we build the large combustion generator. Otherwise, there's no way we're going to have enough power to maintain that. Oh, guys, well, I'm a dummy. You guys are probably yelling at me in the comments. But this could be done in just a normal chemical reactor. You don't need the big boy. I don't even know. I'll be honest. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, in that case, I'll just leave it here because there's a 99.9% chance we're going to need it in the future. But I'm going to do the exact same setup with just an MV chemical reactor. And I'll be right back. Oh yeah, we're making nitric acid. You love to see it. We're also making nitric oxide. We're going to want to store both of these in fluid tanks. Nitric acid, quest complete. We'll auto output fluids to the right into our nitric acid tank. Then use a pump to put the nitric oxide up here. And we'll avoid excess in case we get excess. All right, so that's another acid to our list. Let's slap a fluid storage bus on the bottom here so it can be accessed by the system. Yeah, another fluid to our collection. It's kind of like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. I mean, how many different types of acids do we have? We got sulfuric acid, acetic acid, phosphoric acid, hypochloric acid, blah, 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 blah. We got all the acids. All right, so is that going to unlock platinum group processing? Oh, yeah. This will be a strong source of platinum group metals, which include ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, osmium, and iridium. That's the one we're looking for. And platinum. Psh, we already got infinite platinum. Don't care. So the way you do this is actually pretty weird. We need to get sheldonite ore, which you can buy with Nami coins, so that's nice. We're then going to have to crush it, purify it, and then react it in a chemical reactor with nitric acid. Oh, it only consumes 100 buckets. That's actually really good. And that will make platinum group sludge, as well as sulfuric nickel. What do you do with this? Oh, you can get the nickel back. Okay, nickel back. And with the platinum group sludge, that then gets centrifuged with aquaregia. Is that even real? Probably. And then that's how we get the iridium, maybe? Oh, yeah, it's in the rarest metal mixture, which you then have to, oh my god, react with hydrochloric acid and, oh, hey, good thing we built an extra chemical reactor. And then we get iridium metal residue, and then we centrifuge, and then we can, oh my god. Yeah, let's just extend these wires here. Something tells me we may need it. Oh, I'm sure if you guys have noticed, I have finally, figured out a design that I think is the perfect balance of function and form. If we go back to the center here, we can see the evolution of CWG's brain. At the very beginning, you guys have to remember, this is my first time playing Gregtech, if we don't count the 2-week event. At the very beginning here, it was just spaghetti. We didn't have applied energistics yet, so we automated everything using these ender fluid and item conduits, which ends up turning into Gregsketty. Luckily, pretty sure we could remove all these machines now, although I'm terrified to touch the spaghetti because I think removing one of these pipes may mess up something down the line. I don't know. I'm scared. But then you can see, as we unlocked applied energistics, we went from 3D spaghetti to 2D spaghetti, in which I try to keep everything in the same plane, but it definitely got really wonky. Why are we generating lava all the way up here? I don't know. But after lots of messing around with machines and spaghetti, I found this way to be the cleanest and most efficient. All you have to do is run 2 power cables with 1 block gap in between, and then you run the 2 Fluix cables kind of catty corner to it. That way, machines have access to ME cables above or below, and then they can output the items into drawers above and below. And then all you need is a drawer controller, storage bus, and it can access all these items in the drawer. So you guys feel free to use this method, but you have to leave a sign in your base that says shout out CWG. I'm gonna buy some sheldonite here, and we're gonna hop into a time lapse. And we've done it! The platline is complete. Well, at least to iridium. Here's how it works. It's really quite simple redstone. You just shove the purified sheldonite into the system. It will then end up in this chemical reactor and react with the nitric acid to make platinum sludge. It also makes sulfuric nickel, which then gets electrolyzed to turn into oxygen, sulfuric acid, and nickel, which gets put back into the system. Now this reaction is also giving us purified platinum sludge, which is going into that drawer. It then gets sent over to the HV line, because this is an HV recipe. The platinum sludge is being mixed with aqua regia. How are we making aqua regia? Via this mixer over here. It mixes hydrochloric acid, nitric acid. Of course, we're low in hydrochloric acid because it contains chlorine crisis. And it puts the aqua regia up here, in which there's none, because it's all being sent over here. So the aqua regia reacts with the platinum group sludge, and that makes 5 different byproducts. All of these are very useful, but right now we're looking for this one. Rarest metal mixture. It then gets put into this drawer system. Nice. Now there's a storage bus on it. So that rarest iridium whatever stuff is then being sent over here to this large chemical reactor. This has to run at IV, so I needed 2 EV hatches on it. This interface supplies the rarest metal mixture, which gets put into this input bus. And then once we get up to 7, it will react with the hydrochloric acid, which should be in here. Yeah, we got some. Now, once this hits 7, it should start the reaction. Oh, there it goes. It is reacting, drawing 7,680 EU per tick. Woo! This is gonna make 3 things. 1, hydrogen. Don't really care. Another one, acidic osmium solution, which we could distill into osmium. But most importantly, it makes iridium metal residue. That then gets sent back to the MV line. Yeah, this platinum sludge processing literally goes all over the base. The next parts happen really fast. That residue ends up in the centrifuged, gets centrifuged, gets mixed with hydrogen, blah, 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 but we're making iridium. We have a whopping 8 iridium dust. You'll love to see it. It may only be 8 dust, but 8 dust is all we need right now. Now we're gonna have to blast furnace it with argon with tungsten steel. Oh boy. We're gonna need some more tungsten steel coils. All right, looks like our 16 tungsten steel coils are done. Let's go add that to our main blast furnace, our crafty blast furnace. Also, let's see if we can use this exchange gadget. Ready? Boop. It only does a little bit at a time, but it saves me from having to mine it, I guess. All right, and our blast furnace should be, yep, completely tungsten steeled. I've already put argon inside the input bus. Yeah, things are a bit spaghetti here. This definitely needs a redesign. And let's blast some iridium. Come on, do something. It needs IV? Bruh. I'm gonna have to make more EV energy hatches. Oh boy. I'll be back in a sec. All right, well, let's do a little bit of replacey-placey here. There's HV energy hatches on here. It's time for an upgrade. Time for extreme voltage. And make sure you change your converter, otherwise it won't work. Here's a 4 amp extreme voltage converter. Connect it with some extreme voltage wires and we should be ready to go. All right, let's try this again. Time to blast some iridium. It's working. It's gonna take 37 seconds. It's drawing a butt ton of power, but it's working. We're gonna be getting our first iridium. Oh my gosh, the power draw of that is insane. Ah! Good thing we're only smelting 8 iridium, because holy crap, that takes so much energy. I think we're gonna have to turn off our Lumium factory for now, just to save on some power. We need power to make the thing that gives us power. Right, we got our iridium. All we need is 4 ingots for now. I've already started processing it in the wire mill. There we go, 32 fine iridium. All we have to do is combine it in the assembler. And it has to be in an IV assembler. Ah, of course. How could I forget? Oh boy, we're gonna need so much tungsten steel. How do we make we have to make the IV. Oh wait, circuit assembler. We need this one. Still very expensive. Still much tungsten steel. I'm hoping we have enough tungsten steel to do this. And finally, the elite assembling machine. Insane voltage. This took so long to craft. These motors are so expensive they require 2x graphene wires, neodymium, tungsten steel, 2x tungsten. It took me a lot of crafting. Oh, we're gonna have to automate that ASAP once we get enough power. Hey, quest complete. IV assembling machine. All right, let's grab some Lumium wire here. I have set up an electrical transformer here that will turn 4 amps of EV into 1 amp of IV. Insane voltage. So let's plug in some lumium wire, our insane voltage superconductor. And just for now, because we have nowhere else to put this, we'll put the IV assembling machine right here. Oh, look at that. IV. Wow. I don't like the fact that the end steel wires looks almost identical to the lumium wire. That's probably going to lead to an explosion one day. Look, they almost look the same. Now, please tell me we're able to do this. Please assemble. It's assembling. It's drawing 7,680 EU per tick, but it doesn't matter. We're going to get the 2 elite coils. Yeah, insane voltage coils. This is so expensive. All right, so we can finally cross off platline, IV assembler. Looks like we're only gonna need 2 more IV machines. Ugh, the cutting saw and the chemical reactor. I've already started smelting up a ton of tungsten in here. I may have to smelt up some more. IV machines need so much tungsten. I'll throw another stack of tungsten dust in there. Also, we were drawing so much power from our capacitor bank. I'm now using our combustion generator to feed its extra power into the capacitor bank, which is helping a lot. We're positive on power, but this is going to rapidly drain our batteries back here. Oh yeah, we got about 10 minutes of power left. Let's make it count. All right, here we go. Hours and hours of crafting. Why is it not making? Oh, it needs 4x, not 2x tungsten wire. How silly of me. Do we have any more tungsten wire? I don't think so. All right, I got 4x tungsten wire this time. We may not have enough power to run this. Crap. Well, it's worth a shot. Oh, it's losing energy. Oh, it was only a 3-second craft. We got it. Insane voltage 4 amp dynamo hatch. Oh. So for the most part, all my prep work yesterday has paid off in crafting this super expensive dynamo. There is one thing that took me off guard though, and as you can see, we have another IV machine, the Elite Mixer. Because, let's see if you guys can catch it. In order to make the 4 amp dynamo, we need an insane voltage transformer from LUV to IV. And that requires platinum cable, the HPICs that we made in the clean room, machine hall. I thought we had all this stuff. And then we needed niobium titanium cable. So we were able to make the niobium titanium inside of the IV mixer. We had both of the dusts. So that was nice. The part that was not nice is the fact that in order to coat this, not only do you need styrene butadiene and PVC, you also need polyphenylene sulfide. I don't even know how to say that. So I had to set up a whole bunch of chemistry for that. So let's head over to the MV line. As you can see, we have all our different platline stuff up here. We're getting iridium down at the bottom. Look at that tasty iridium. On the other side is where the chemistries happen. First, we have to make dichlorobenzene, which is a combination of benzene and chlorine. Yes, more chlorine. Everything in the base is freaking using chlorine, and we're running out. You'll see the number occasionally go up. Oh, it's doing it. It made some dichlorobenzene. And then it gets sent over to the HV line, in which it combines with oxygen and sodium sulfide, which is a mixture of sodium and sulfur. We have a ton of that crap. And then it turns into polyphenylene sulfide, whatever, and then we send it back over to the MV line, and it gets fluid solidified, passed over to the bending machine, and that's how we get the sheets. So not that hard, just had to set up a few chemical reactors. As for the platline itself, these are all the different things that we are getting from the platinum sludge. Let me turn to hover mode so you guys can see. We're getting a ton of raw platinum. In fact, I'm pretty sure we can electrolyze this and get some chlorine. Yes. We're also getting, what is this stuff? Raw palladium, which has to go through a process, but that's how we can get renewable palladium. And ammonium chloride. Oh, more ammonia. Nice. We're also getting this stuff. What is this? Platinum sludge residue that could be centrifuged into gold. Oh. Okay, and then what's this stuff? Inert metal mixture. This can be turned into rhodium and ruthenium. Oh, gosh, there's so many different chemicals. You know, that gave me an idea. What if somewhere in the base, I have no idea where, but we made like a periodic table? Like, we'll use these crafting monitors over here, and we'll have it like display the entire periodic table to see like what elements we have. I think that could be pretty cool. Although I don't know if the monitors can display fluids. I mean, let's test it out. Let's say we want the system to tell us how much hydrogen we have. Can we just like put down one of those monitors, put in a hydrogen bucket? Oh, it works. They could display fluids. We could actually build the periodic table. Oh, that would be so cool. Let me know in the comments if you guys would want to see that. All right, now that we have the hardest part about this combustion engine, it's time to craft the rest of it. Oh my gosh, we don't have any of these materials. We need more graphene. Now, graphene is an alloy of graphite, silicon, and carbon. Might as well use our insane voltage mixer. It's pretty quick. Pretty quick. And what's awesome about this graphene dust is you don't have to smelt it or anything. You could just put it straight into the wire mill and it's fast. All right, tungsten. All right, one more super expensive IV piston and can we finally do it? We just need, oh no, what? Well, we got it again by another hidden cable. We need HSSG, which stands for high speed steel. I don't know what the G stands for. Please tell me we can make this stuff. EV tungsten steel. We can do that. How do we get the dust? Molybdenum, chrome, tungsten steel, and vanadium. Because, of course, why not? Whole bunch of rare metals. Luckily, I think we have them all. I know we have some extra tungsten steel dust right here. We need some chrome, which we have tons of chrome. Some molybdenum, which apparently we have. It's probably a byproduct of something. And vanadium. And we should have vanadium in this crate somewhere. Maybe? Please? No vanadium, but we do have vanadium magnetite, which can easily be centrifuged. There we go. Now we're getting some vanadium. Let's head to our super mixer and mix all these dusts. Does it need a circuit number? Circuit number 1. Why you no mix? Oh, because it was just lag. There we go. How's our batteries doing over here? Oof. Oh, we got 88 seconds of power left. Come on. Yes, we got some HSSG. We must immediately smelt it, and I believe it uses helium. What are we smelting right now? Tungsten steel? Sorry. Here we go. Our first HSSG dust. It's smelted. 22 seconds per dust. Could be worse. Oh man, that blast furnace sucks so much power. We desperately need this thing. There we go. Our first piece of HSSG steel. Let's go. Cheap it get. And we should just be able to throw it through the wire mill. Coat some of the cables. Please tell me this is all we need. Apparently these are LUV cables. Dang. And we should have everything we need to make the extreme combustion engine. And this will use our first LUV circuit. Oh yeah. Now I just have to make all the other bits and bobs. Hopefully we have enough tungsten steel. I really hope we do. All right, we should have everything we need now to make one of these lapatronic energy orbs. We're gonna need 16 of these things, which means we're gonna need so many lapatron crystals. It's a bit ridiculous. But it's only a 20-second craft, so not too bad. And also I have everything in our inventory that we're gonna need to build this guy. There it is. Lapatronic energy orb. 250 million EU of power storage. Quest complete. I'm gonna put it right next to our other engine here. I made sure I left a gap. Let's build. It's formed. All right, let's get rid of this rain. I swear, in this world, it always rains during the day when you can't skip it. It's so annoying. There's probably some like modded item we can make to skip the night. Oh my gosh, our battery is completely dead. What the heck? Well, good thing we have this guy, huh? Oh, extreme combustion engine. I hope you solve our power issues until we get into nuclear power, pretty much. That's what I'm hoping. I also smelted up some graphite. Hopefully it's ready. Or not graphite, it's tungsten. Yeah, there's a little bit of tungsten. I call that a W. I need 4 16x wires. Oh my gosh, we're gonna need a lot more tungsten. Well, while we're waiting for tungsten, we can at least set up the input hatches. An important part about Gregtech is while you're waiting for something, you gotta be doing something else to be productive with your time. Because if you just sit around waiting for machines all day, you're not gonna get anywhere. So let's give this guy some lubricant, some high-octane gasoline. Oh, it's running, even though it has nowhere to put the power. So let me just turn you off real quick. And in the top is where we insert the oxygen, so that way it gets oxygen boosted. Also, I just realized I forgot to put in like mini dubs the entire episode. So you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. All right, yeah, looks like this turbine's ready to go. I just need to get a battery buffer on this guy, which means I need a lot more tungsten, but tungsten takes so long to smelt in the EBF. Wow, in all that time, we got 4 more ingots. And it cost 8 ingots for 1 16x wire, so we are halfway there. Yeah, the battery buffer requires 4 16x tungsten wires. As soon as we get this extra power generation, the first thing we're automating is smelting the stupid tungsten steel. If I have to smelt another tungsten steel, I might lose my mind. Like, is tungsten even used that much in real life? I don't actually know. It just takes so long to smelt. Well, while we're waiting the half an hour it's gonna take for that to smelt, let's just take a walk around the base and see what's popping. We got 80,000 thorium. That's a bit nuts. 48,000 sapphire. We haven't really needed the sapphire yet, but oh, actually, we're in IV now. Yeah, you can take sapphire dust, mix it with aqua regia, which we've already automated. Get sapphire slurry, centrifuge it. What do you get? Ooh, a little bit of titanium. Vanadium. Ooh, that's huge. Oh, and you get the nitric acid back. Cool. Yeah, so we could use the sapphire to turn it to titanium and vanadium. Neat. Now the thing about the platline processing is we need a way to automate this platinum group sludge, which can come from 6 different purified ores. The best one to use being sheldonite. So I wonder if any of the microverse missions will give us any of these ores. That way we can automate platinum group sludge, because I don't know how else we could do it. Just something to note. Oh, I guess one thing we could talk about while we wait is chlorine, man. How are we gonna get more chlorine? We're always out of chlorine. It's used for so much stuff. So we're not too far away from being able to make these micro miner tier 1s. In fact, we probably can make them. I think next episode we'll start getting into this stuff, and then we'll get all these different types of ores, including salt. And hey, that sounds like a source of chlorine to me, because 1 ore could be processed into 4 crushed, and we could get like byproducts to give us even more chlorine. Oh, and borax to give us boron. Ooh, yeah. We're gonna have to get into these microverse projections real soon. In fact, if we look at our quest book here, oh my gosh, we got a lot of things to claim. HSSG steel, power storage. We needed this stuff to make a tungsten carbide saw blade, which looks pretty cool. Oh, for the elite cutting machine. I don't even think I showed this off. Oh yeah, we did make 2 more IV machines. These guys were to make the fancy wafers. These guys, the HPICs, they both require IV, so that's why I needed to make tungsten carbide, so quest for that. Nice. If we look at the into the microverse, here's the quest to make our first thingy, but we need to make this quantum flux. There's a few ways we could do it. We could use our extraterrestrial matter, diamonds, and pulsating iron is one way. Another way is using moon dust, and you get the moon dust from moon turf from the mission itself. So after we launch our first mission, that could be a good way to get it. Or you could use an IV extruder, which I guess we could technically craft now, and use impossible realm data, and we could make this from overworldian matter, or get it from Enderman. Interesting. Nah, this recipe seems really good. All these recipes seem really good. Well, I think I know what we're getting into next episode. So, you may be asking yourself, how much tungsten did you get in all that time waiting? We got, 16. Enough for a singular 16x wire. Oh, wait, I forgot. It's actually 8 ingots to make a 16x wire. We actually do have enough. I don't have to AFK. Please forgive me, Greg. Please forgive me. I mean, I know they say waiting builds character and all, but like I've been waiting the whole day. Give me the cable. So now we can finally make the 16x battery buffer IV. Oh, we did it. So we can slap this guy on the back of our brand new generator. Hi. And we can put in our singular Lapatronic energy orb. Why did I make a 16x buffer if we only have one battery? Well, I'll be crafting more batteries off camera, okay? This is going to be able to store so much power. All right, well, let's play with our new toy. Supply liquid oxygen to boot. Wait, are you serious? Oh, this one uses liquid oxygen, not normal oxygen. So does that mean it's just going to make like the standard, 8,000 FE per tick? Which is still an impressive amount of power. Look at this thing go. Even without boosting, it's making double the power of the other guy, which is boosted. That's impressive. Okay, how do we get liquid oxygen? Is it going to be like a super complicated process? Oh, we just need a freezer running at EV. And this only consumes 80 liters per second, so yeah, just one of these guys should be enough. All right, I made another vacuum freezer. It's using 2 HV hatches, so it should be running at EV. Yep, let's just give it some oxygen. That's all we gotta do, C-Dubs. Keep it together. Just give it some oxygen. There you go. It has its oxygen. It's working. Super tank. Let's collect that liquid oxygen. Yes, it's beautiful. Yoink. And then we just need a fluid storage bus. Pop it on the back. Hook it up around the side with some cables. And we should be good to go. Okay, let's go back to our thingy. Ignore oxygen. You need to get me liquid oxygen. So we have to get rid of the oxygen inside the hatch. There we go. Let's turn it on again. Is it oxygen boosted? Yes, liquid oxygen boosted. You can see it going down, but yes, it is getting more. It's making how much power? 16,384. We're making LUV levels of power. Let's go. How's our battery doing? Oh, look at that guy charge. It's beautiful. We need to make more batteries pronto. Now, the only thing is, I need to get this battery buffer to charge that battery buffer. How expensive is a 16 amp EV transformer? It has to be able to transform from EV to IV. Oh, it needs a bunch of crap. More tungsten. Yay! Titanium! I'm starting to go crazy here. Some people call it Greg sanity. I'm losing my Greg sanity. All right, let's just make 8 more machine holes. I forget. Do you need platinum wire or gold cable? Ah, it's gotta be platinum. I'm starting to mix up all the machine holes. This isn't good. Take your platinum. What? It doesn't like the platinum. What? It's aluminum cable. None of the above. Platinum's for Ivy. Oh my gosh. Too much Greg. It's just been too much Greg today. Ah, what am I saying? No such thing as too much Greg. But I feel like I'm constantly making these EV machine holes. Next time I have to make one, I'm batch crafting a full stack. I don't care. I don't care if it uses all our titanium. I probably should care. All right, we have a normal transformer, but to boost it to the high amp transformer, we need to pump more tungsten. Yay, tungsten, 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 tungsten. All right, I have completed our scavenger hunt of items. I mean, that's pretty much what this is. This is all just random crap. It's just a scavenger hunt. Well, let's throw it all in there, put in some lube. All right, we should be making it. Hey, 16 amp extreme voltage transformer. All right, the goal here is to not cause an explosion. Here's the plan. Step 1, move these cables because they're in the way. Step 2, realize that the crafting monitor ate your wrench. Give me my wrench back! What happens is like, it likes to use the wrench from your inventory and recipes, and then it'll eat it, and then you'll realize you don't have your wrench when you're trying to do something. All right, what's the best way to do this without causing an explosion? I should be safe to put the transformer here. There's always like a pucker moment. We want it to step down, which it is. This should be the IV side. That is the EV side. Okay, so we aim the IV side at the buffer, and then we aim the buffer at the thing, and it shouldn't explode. Yes, we're good. Okay. It scares me every time. I don't know what it is. All right, next we just need some end steel wire, which luckily I crafted ahead of time, right? Oh, I actually did craft ahead of time. I was kind of joking. All right, so what's the charge of our batteries? Oh, there was only 33 seconds remaining. This could not come at a better time. And our Lapatron orb's already halfway full. This is madness. Okay, here we go. We're gonna connect it to the thing. Now, battery buffers should be able to accept power from any side and accept up to 32 amps. So I should just be able to connect it like so. And yep, the charge on all these Lapatron crystals are going up. It is working. I love you, Extreme Combustion Engine. Let me just move the muffler to the top and the smaller ones. That way they both match. Ah, look at that. It's beautiful. They're working in tandem. Although this guy is making 4 times more power than this guy. You'll love to see it. And with that, I think we're out of time for today's episode. With this power, we're going to be able to do whatever we want around the base. I'll catch you guys in the next one. CWG, out.